And we are back. It's the Casual Marks, and we've got something a little bit different in the old holster for today. We're going through some of our wildest predictions for 2024's World of Wrestling, and the way that we discussed it with our parameters, it's not necessarily what we think will happen as much as it's, I wouldn't be surprised if this does happen. If it's your first time joining us, I'm the Mark.
And I'm the Casual. Thanks for listening.
So let's go ahead and jump right into it.
And we're both blind reacting to this. We have no idea what the other one's going to say.
Yeah, we do not know each other's predictions, so I'm actually pretty excited. I've got some that I think
excited to not know what you mean.
No, I think, except for one, you should know what I mean for all of them.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and start with maybe the biggest one. CM Punk gets fired from WWE before summer.
What?
Yeah, I think there's at least a decent chance that we have some kind of fiasco and he's let go by the company. And I don't know when or what it could be, but summertime feels like it's about 6 months, halfway through the year.
No way. He's such a moneymaker for WWE. Why would they fire him?
Well, I mean, he doesn't exactly have the best reputation for, backstage and everything.
Well, I mean, I know he wasn't that great in UFC, but he was good in WWE the first time.
I'm more so talking about his AEW run.
What's AEW?
All right. You don't have to do him dirty like that.
Haha. Thanks for listening to the actual video, guys. We're gonna try and
get pranked.
Debate people on the TikTok.
That's the rage bait, baby.
That'll be the thumbnail. What's AEW? Thinking face.
Now that actually is a real prediction, though, or not necessarily a prediction, but wouldn't be surprised if CM Punk.
Well, according to all the dirt sheets, I mean, you never know. CM Punk and Seth Rollins just fighting backstage every week, and Drew McIntyre all mad. It could happen.
This is true.
But I don't know, with the amount of money that WWE is bringing in from CM Punk, and probably the amount of money that they're going to get from the deal for Raw from CM Punk, not alone, but greatly influenced by CM Punk. I think they can deal with whatever kind of backstage annoyance he is, at least for a little bit, at least for a full year.
I guess we'll see. Why don't you go ahead and hit me with your first prediction?
I will go with also my biggest on the list, but it might not be at the big you're thinking about. I think Omos will hold some kind of championship in 2024.
The Homo sapien.
Yeah, I'm standing up for Homo sapiens.
Oh, brother. Now, we actually owe a lot of our success to Omos. So I think just as a channel, we have to really, really support Omos overall.
Omos, if you're listening, come on the show.
The Omos cinematic universe might be the entire reason that the Casual Marks exist in its entirety today.
Omos, once we get back in the creativity fund, who knows, we might buy some of your artwork from.
Let me go ahead and jump into my next one. I think this one's going to kind of blow your mind. I think Tony Khan is going to get in the ring.
That would be awesome.
Now, I'm not saying that he's going to have a match.
Oh,
he might. But I think some kind of on-air physical interaction. You know what I mean?
What?
Maybe he just takes a bump. Maybe he gets speared. I don't know. Maybe Adam Copeland turns into their Stone Cold.
Maybe
which
Ric
he probably
Flair
should be
will
treated
put him in a figure 4 leg lock.
Maybe. I just think Tony Khan.
It's Cowboy Tony Khan.
We're 4 years in. I think we're at the point that we should have some kind of on-air presence from some kind of booking authority. And I think if Tony Khan's going to show up and make all these big announcements, some people are going to have issues with it.
I don't know. That'll be interesting, especially since he fired CM Punk for feeling so in danger.
Yeah, but that was because CM Punk didn't run it by him first.
If they would have had a camera rolling, he would have said, "This is such good shit."
Go ahead and hit me with your next one.
My next one is, I would not be surprised at all if Logan Paul holds this U.S. champion through the entire calendar year.
Through what? Through the year.
Through the
You were
year.
telling me that you're expecting like a 15-month long U.S. title
I would
reign for
not
Logan
be
Paul.
surprised at all. The amount of attention that he can bring to WWE, to the United States Championship, I could very well see that, especially with Gunther being like the workhorse with the Intercontinental title. I could really see it happening. I don't know. I think that it brings a lot of publicity to WWE, especially having a championship over his arm and just posting on social media. It just gets a lot of eyes on Logan Paul and on the championship, and that therefore on wrestling, especially whenever he is wrestling.
I don't think so. I mean, I guess anything's possible. I think it'll be like WrestleMania. He drops it.
Who to who?
I mean, if it were me and I was fantasy booking, it would be LA Knight. You
I
get
think
that big pop
that's
with LA Knight
sailed.
going over.
That ship has sailed.
I guess we'll have to see who's more over
To
at
Dominic Mysterio.
What? Let me go into my next one. I think we're going to get a Goldberg retirement match. I don't know if it'll be in WWE because I know that he just came out and said that this man was an asshole and a piece of shit and all that kind of stuff. So don't know if I'd be too surprised if it was instead over in AEW. I've seen reports from different dirt sheets that apparently Goldberg wanted to be involved in Sting's last match.
Ew.
So I don't know where it'll be.
That would be kind of funny to just see Goldberg come out there and beat Sting in 30 seconds, though. Just hit him with a jackknife and a spear.
Yeah, spear, jackhammer, done.
Oh, was it jackhammer? Who does the jackknife? Is that Big Sexy?
Yeah, the jackknife is a power bomb.
Okay, yeah.
I think we're going to get some Goldberg retirement match.
I think if it does happen, I think it will be
on NXT to Braun Breaker.
Hopefully it's at WrestleMania, baby, because that's where the big boys are. But maybe it'll be to The Miz.
Okay.
But I think it'll be before it gets closer to the end of summer, because I don't know if you know this, but Goldberg's son's going to play college football somewhere, and I think he will be at every game that his son is at. I don't think that he will be missing those games. So I think it'll be sometime before that happens.
I mean, that would make sense. And it would also kind of make sense that he wants to finish up his career all the way before starting to travel that way. Like officially bookmarked, like I'm no longer a wrestler.
I guess I'll go into mine now. And I would not be surprised if John Cena becomes a 17-time champion.
I don't think it'll ever happen.
You don't think it'll ever happen?
No, I don't. Especially, I mean, Triple H is booking. He's like besties with Ric Flair.
Yeah, but Ric Flair's in AEW now. Maybe they're going to stick it to him.
If they didn't pull the trigger on it while he was here during the strikes, I don't think they ever will.
I don't know. I think Cena have a little lull in acting again, a little lull in Wipeout hosting.
It is a better chance that Randy Orton breaks the record.
What is Randy Orton
Cena
at?
breaks it. Orton's at either 14 or 15.
Oh, that'd be cool too. What if Triple H breaks it?
I don't know about that.
I don't think so either. But it would be cool if somebody breaks it. If they're talking all this stuff about Roman breaking records, what if they just broke that record?
Maybe. I don't know. I think certain records will never be broken. I think Flair's record, I think Bruno's record, and I think Undertaker's record.
Of the WrestleMania
the most
streak?
Consecutive WrestleManias without being defeated.
Okay. We'll just have to see. I mean, you know what they say, records are made to be broken.
My next one is a little bit of a joke, but I want you to understand before I say it that I 100% could see it happening. I think Matt Riddle is going to make an OnlyFans.
And he was teasing it already. I thought he already did. I mean, he's got the girlfriend that's in the business, so he's already had his foot in the door.
And I think it's going to do surprisingly well.
I mean,
not as well as Mandy Rose.
He might collab with Mandy Rose and Lacey Evans.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
And I mean, if that happens, don't look at my bank account is all I'm saying.
We got to move on before we get demonetized. Go into your next one.
All right. This next one is kind of fantasy booking, but I could also see it happening. The Rock beats Roman to end his streak.
I mean, that one is definitely fantasy booking.
But I would not be surprised if that happened.
I don't think I would be surprised, but I do think I would be unhappy.
Unhappy.
Look, Rock and
The
Roman
elder
is a
sin-
match that can happen with or without the championship.
Well, yeah.
I still believe
But
with everything that's happened.
who Roman is without the championship?
I mean, I think that's a fair point. But I really think of everything that has happened in the last year since WrestleMania of last year, the stories of Cody and Roman both feel like they were supposed to have switched the title. With Roman's like breaking up the bloodline, trying to go after the tag titles for that weird little bit. Remember that?
Yeah. With
Like,
Solo.
That all feels like it was supposed to happen because he lost the world title and it was like going crazy. And I just don't know if I see all that happening for him to lose to another part-timer.
Then it'd be to Cody or to CM Punk, though.
I think Cody makes more sense unless they're going to try and build a story around Paul Heyman and CM Punk.
Oh, Cody's been there longer. He deserves it more.
Exactly. Speaking of being there a while,
wait, is this going to be your next one, or is it?
Yeah, it is actually. I think this is a cool transition into my next one. This one's kind of just hopeful thinking, and I really want it, but I'm counting it as a prediction. I really want Big E to get a return.
Ah, that would be awesome.
It doesn't have to be full time. It doesn't even have to be in the ring. He can come back to commentary or manager.
I would love him to be on commentary, but you said that you don't think that he'd be a good commentator because he would steal the spotlight.
I think Big E would have a problem similar to Roddy Piper, where it was like, I can't hear it and not be like, oh, I love him.
Not get himself over while he's... It's like Don Callis.
Kind of, yeah.
But
I mean, like I said, I know that's just wishful thinking.
That would be
But
awesome.
I really want Big E to get his comeback.
The New Day have to feud with each other, and we finally get a triple threat match with the New Day, the Shield that we wish we could have had. This is not my last, but this is the last one that I will speak on now. And people are going to come at me and hate me for this, but I would not be surprised if AEW had to change from Wembley, go to a smaller venue.
Oh.
I would not be completely shocked at that at all. And that's my putting my neck out on the line, because I know you, Mark, you don't come for me with that one.
That one is an interesting one because the most recent WrestleTix has it where they've already done almost 50,000 tickets.
All right, then I didn't know that, so maybe never mind. If you picked up Wembley though and you put it in America, they're not selling that many tickets.
I think that's fair. I think another possibility of something to be aware of for both you and AEW is they haven't announced any matches and they're already moving that many tickets. So there's a good chance that's scalpers.
Oh yeah,
that are trying to resell tickets based on how many people went last year.
Because
last year there are a little over 9,000 tickets that were sold and didn't get used.
And how many of those is Tony Khan buying himself and passing out? Buy one, get one free. Paul White announcing it at the local indie show.
I don't know about anything like that.
Yeah, I know, but now the way that scalpers are in today's world, they probably are buying those things up and trying to resell them.
It's possible.
I mean, I'm sure there's some. I don't know the percentage of how many that is, but I'm sure there is a good amount of scalpers. I mean, there is for events like that at all times.
Well, let me go into my last one. And this one is the one that I would be like the most surprised by it happening. I think after we've seen everything going on with NXT and All Japan, that Worlds Collide is going to come back, which was an old NXT special event where they would do NXT and NXT UK against each other.
Oh.
And it'll be essentially a Forbidden Door type show with All Japan and NXT going against each other head to head.
That would be cool.
And I think if that happens, there is a very good chance that NXT really steps itself up to being seen as a third brand instead of being considered a full-time developmental. I think that's already possible when they move to the CW, because when they go to cable, they're going to want to put at least some star power on it to keep interest there.
Well, as you know, that all the AEW marks were saying that can't do it with just their regular talent. They had to bring in other talent. And Like,
Maybe they're right. I don't know. Maybe they're onto something.
And they're just doing it because they're trying to take over Japan. They're not doing it for the actual betterment of all Japan, according to TikTok.
Well, Charlie Dempsey is apparently the guy to go in and really take over Japan.
Question though, I've never heard of All Japan. So how does it equate to in American wrestling?
It's a little bit of hard to find a direct comparison. In Japan, New Japan is definitely like WWE of Japan.
So is All Japan like AEW?
Probably.
Or are they like the GCW? Or
at one point they were easily the number 2.
PWG.
But they have been on a decline.
So they're like
for
TNA.
a while. Yes.
Okay.
But they're working their way back up and they're getting better.
They like TNA.
Yes.
Interesting.
So I would say it's probably closest to that. But it's not a direct comparison because there's a lot more in Japan promotions that are
almost like territories.
Yeah, I don't know about territories as being the word. Just where there's more interest in wrestling in Japan than there seems to be in America, just because in America the interest is so spread out.
I think in America everyone's just closeted.
Yeah. It's possible. Well, that's all of ours. Y'all gotta let us know what y'all's are down in the comments
let
below.
us know if our takes are dumb, or if you agree, and let us know your takes, and maybe we'll do a video reacting to some of the best ones, or talk about those. Yeah,
we're gonna put this up on TikTok as well. See if we can get some going. This might be a reoccurring series to get some of the predictions going, and
if we get one of these right, you best bet we're blasting it everywhere.
Oh, if any of these are right, except for the Matt Riddle OnlyFans, we'll be posting about it everywhere.
Especially Matt Riddle.
Well, I don't think we can post about that one. I'm not trying to lose the channel over that.
That'll go on the alt.
Well, thank y'all for checking us out. Y'all be sure to like, comment, follow us on the TikTok. I don't know what else YouTubers say. Ring the bell. I hear that a lot.
Yeah, put on notifications.
Yeah, that. I don't know, man. Y'all check us all out. In case you forgot, I'm the Mark.
And I'm the Casual. Thanks for listening.